Hey everyone, it's Nicole from Healthy NYC. Welcome. Today we're going to be practicing an invigorating Vinyasa flow for balance and strength. So let's start down on our backs. Take a few moments in Savasana just to set your intention for the practice. Shoulders down, palms facing up. Just take a few deep breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Nice and controlled breath. And when you're ready, just take a big morning stretch. Arms over the head, pointing your toes. And draw your right knee into your chest. You can circle out the ankle, maybe sway the hip from side to side, just get some mobility going. And we're going to take this into a twist. Right leg moving over to the left. Right arm out to the side, shoulders pressing down into the mat, collarbones facing up to the sky. Take a few breaths here, breathing deeply into your lower back. And when you're ready, let's come back to center. We're going to take half happy baby. So bend your left knee and grab onto the outside of your right foot or your big toe. Elbow to the inside and just stretching that hip down. You can place your left arm out to the side if you feel like you're rolling a bit. And if you'd like more intensity, you can always feel free to straighten your leg down. Take one more deep breath here. Gently let that go, and let's bring our left leg into the chest. Again, moving the hips side to side, whatever feels good here in your body. And we're going to move into a twist. Left leg over the right, left arm out to the side. Breathing deeply into the lower back, trying to relax. Collarbones facing up to the sky. Take 2 more deep breaths in the pose. And let's come back to center. Moving into half happy baby on the left side. So go ahead and bend your right knee. Grab onto the outside of the left foot or your big toe. You can place your arm out to the side to support you in the pose, and feel free to straighten out your right leg if you'd like more intensity. Take one more deep breath here. And let's bring both knees into our chest. Give them a little squeeze. Maybe rock a little side to side. And get some momentum going to come to tabletop for cat and cow. Knees beneath the hips. Wrists aligned with your shoulders. Palms and fingers spreading nice and wide, elbows straight. Inhale, lift the chest and the tailbone. Exhale, contract. Try to keep your elbows straight. Move with your own breath and at your own pace. Take a few more here. Just getting some mobility into our shoulders, our upper back, our lower back. And go ahead, let's move through our last round. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, curling tailbone up. And exhale. Coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to take puppy pose. So keep your hips as they are. Stretch your arms out in front of you and place your forehead down on the mat. You can either keep your arms straight like I am or rest down on your forearms, whatever is more comfortable for you today. Lower belly lifting up. Pressing your chest towards the mat, getting a nice opening in our shoulders. Let's slide down on our bellies into Sphinx Pose. Opening up through the chest. Feet pressing into the floor. Take one more breath. And let's move into our first downward dog. So toes curl under, lifting your hips up, tailbone to the sky. Fingers spreading nice and wide, really pressing into those knuckles. Feet and hands are hip width distance apart. Go ahead and paddle out the feet, shaking your head from side to side, whatever feels comfortable for you. Let's take a few moments to relax into the pose and get comfortable. Take a cleansing breath here, inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's walk our hands to the back of the mat and take a forward fold. Your feet can be hip width distance apart or a little wider. Bend your knees and you can grab onto both elbows, swaying from side to side. Gently shaking your head, yes or no. Just really trying to free up your neck. And fingers down to the mat. Let's walk ourselves back into our downward dog. Realign your feet so that they're hip width distance apart. When you're ready, right leg goes up to the sky. Go ahead and open up that hip nice and wide. Straighten out the right leg and let's gently step forward into our low lunge. So your left knee comes down, your right leg is bent, ankle and your knee are aligned. And go ahead and lift on up with your arms, feeling that nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Take an inhale, let's circle our arms wide. Go ahead and clasp your hands. And you can take a back bend here if that's comfortable for you. If not, just look forward, making sure your hands are off of your tailbone, pressing your hips forward and down. Let's take one more breath of the pose. Coming back up, place your hands down to the mat And let's take our half split. So stretch that right leg out. You can feel free to bend the knee if your hamstrings are tight. I am relaxing my upper back and just making this about the hamstrings. Take one more breath here. Let's start to crawl the hands forward, coming into our easy twist. Left hand down, right arm stretches up to the sky. Making sure that that left shoulder isn't popping too far forward. One more inhale here and exhale, moving into our wide-legged forward fold towards the left side of your mat. Feet parallel with the short side of the mat. And feel free to negotiate your space depending on how tight your hamstrings are. You can sway side to side. Again, trying to free up your neck. One more full round of breath. And let's crawl our fingers forward, flat back, coming back to the top of the mat, and let's take a flow. Plant both hands. Inhale to your plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice, cobra or up dog. And exhaling back into our downward dog. Again, feel free to continue paddling out your feet, shaking your head. When you're ready, left leg up to the sky. Go ahead and open up that hip nice and wide, trying to keep your left shoulder pressing down. Straighten out the left leg and let's gently step forward into our low lunge. Right knee is down and lifting up. Take an inhale here and circle the arms wide. We're clasping our hands in the back, other thumb on top. Take a little back bend if that's comfortable. Hips pressing forward and down, getting that nice stretch in the right hip flexor. One more breath here, coming back up. Hands down to the mat, and let's move into our half split. Stretching that left leg forward. And again, always feel free to bend your knee if your hamstrings are tight. Take one more breath in the pose. Let's start to crawl our fingers forward and move into our easy twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Getting that nice stretch in the left shoulder. One more breath here. Let's move into our wide-legged forward fold towards the right side of your mat. Feet parallel to the short sides, and go ahead and fold on down. Feeling free to adjust your legs depending on your hamstrings. Let's take one more breath here. Walk our fingers forward, lift up to a flat back. Let's go back towards the top of the mat and take your flow. Both hands down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice. And exhale, downward dog. Let's take a cleansing breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Right leg rises. Let's step it forward into warrior two. Your back foot is parallel towards the short edge of the mat. Nice bend in that right knee, making sure that you're not collapsing in. Nice strong arms. And let's go ahead and reverse. Feeling that stretch in the right side body. And moving into our extended side angle. You can either place your forearm on the top of your right leg or come down to the floor if that's available to you. Take one more breath. Coming back up to warrior two. Go ahead and straighten that right leg. Let's exalt. Big inhale, side body stretch. And exhale, moving into triangle pose. You may need to adjust the back foot in a little bit. And you can place that right hand on your shin or down on the mat. Making sure your chest is staying open, you're not collapsing forward. Take one more inhale, and then look down towards the mat. Bend into that right knee. Your left knee comes down to the mat, and we're gonna take a low lunge with a twist. So inhale that right arm back, and if you can, grab onto your foot. Take a few breaths here, feeling that nice stretch in the quads. Gently let that go, and let's take our flow. Both hands down to the mat. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice. And exhale, downward dog. Left leg up to the sky. Coming through into our warrior two. So right foot is parallel towards the short side of the mat. Bending generously into the front knee, nice strong arms. Go ahead and reverse. Nice side body stretch. Exhale back into warrior two, and then let's move into our side angle. Again, feel free to keep your forearm on your knee. Or you can come all the way down. Take one more breath. Push into both feet, coming back to our warrior two. Straighten that front leg, and let's exalt our triangle. And moving our hips forward into triangle again, feel free to adjust that back foot. And you can rest your hand against your shin or on the floor, just making sure that your shoulder is staying open and you're not collapsing forward. Take one more breath here. Start to look down towards the mat. Bend into that left knee. Right knee comes down. We're going to take a low lunge quad stretch. So inhale that arm back. If it's available, go ahead and grab onto your foot. If not, you can feel free to just stay in a twist. Take a few breaths here. Gently let that foot go, and let's move into our flow. Inhale to plank, exhale to chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and pressing back into downward dog. Let's take one more breath here. And when you're ready, bend your knees, lift your heels, and either hop or walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, come all the way up to stand, hands up overhead. Palms come together to touch and hands to heart center. We're going to move into tree pose. So standing on our right leg, bring that left knee up. Place your foot on the top of your inner thigh or down on the bottom of your shin. Feeling everything pull in towards the midline. And you can take your hand position of choice, either at your heart or up towards the sky. Take one more breath here. We're going to challenge our balance a bit more by moving into our standing pigeon pose. So cross your left ankle over your right knee and start to bend that right knee, keeping your back straight, flexing that left foot. Try not to grip your toes into the mat. Take one more breath here, coming into chair pose. Toes together. Nice straight back. Make sure that when you peek down, you can still see your toes. Lower belly hugs in and up. Hands at heart center. And let's move into a twist. So left elbow goes over the right knee. Take a peek down and make sure that your knees are even. Press your hands together firmly, trying to keep that right shoulder down. Take one more breath. And when you're ready, gently step back into your high lunge with a twist. Nice strong pose. Shoulder down to free up the neck. Take one more breath. Look down towards the mat. And let's take a flow. Both hands down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Let's take 3 breaths. When you're ready, bend the knees, lift the heels. You can hop or walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take tree pose on the second side. Standing on your left leg, bring your right knee up to your chest. Place that foot wherever is comfortable for you, either on the upper inner thigh or down towards the shin. Take your hand and arm position of choice. Trying not to dig your toes in the mat. Focus on something that's not moving to help you keep your balance. Everything pulling in towards the midline. Take one more breath. Let's move into our standing pigeon pose. So cross that right ankle over your left knee and start to bend forward. Take a few more breaths here, focusing on something that's not moving. One more inhale and exhale, moving into chair pose. Hands at heart center, big toes together. Take an inhale and let's twist to the left, so your right elbow is over your left knee. Again, peek down, make sure your knees are aligned. Take one more breath here. When you're ready, gently step back into your high lunge with a twist. Hands press firmly together. Take one more breath. Look down towards the mat and let's take a flow. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Stretch out. Maybe your heels are a little bit closer to the mat now. Take one more breath, and when you're ready, let's come to a seated position. We're going to take a twist. So cross your right leg over your left. You can go ahead and hug on to your knee. Inhale your arm up and exhale, keeping that length, taking your twist. Try to keep a nice straight back here. And all four corners of that right foot should be on the mat. Coming back to center, let's switch sides. So right foot crosses over. Inhale that left arm up and exhale into your twist. Take one more breath. Coming back to center, and let's lie down on our backs. Let's take lying pigeon pose. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Getting a nice stretch in that right hip. And let's switch to the other side. Left ankle over your right knee. Gently pulling the right leg towards you so you can get a deeper stretch into your left hip. Let's release. Pull your knees into your chest. You can stay here or move into happy baby by grabbing on to the outside of both feet or your two big toes, pressing your hips down onto the mat. You can use your elbows to gently stretch your thighs a little bit further apart to get deeper into the stretch. Take one more breath. And let's move into Savasana, our final resting pose. Shoulders down the back, palms facing up to the sky. Take up some space. Take some time in Shavasana today to really integrate all the work we've done in this practice. Trying to relax your body completely. We'll spend a few minutes in this pose. Breathing deeply. total relaxation. When you're ready, start to bring some movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rolling your ankles and your wrists, shaking your head from side to side. And roll over to one side. And pause for a moment to take a full round of breath. And when you're ready, push yourself up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed to focus inward. Hands at heart center, gently bow your head towards your hands. Let's take one more round of breath together. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope to see you again soon on the mat. Namaste.